Hello everyone, welcome to our Tombwater developer Q&A with Max and Jake of Moth Atlas. During the Q&A, we dive deep into what development was like for Tombwater, what other games inspired them, and much more. We even take some questions from our Tombwater Discord community members, so let's dive in. I appreciate you guys just like taking a little bit of time to answer some of the questions that we've put together, and there's a lot of questions from the community that they wanted to ask as well. One of the big questions that I saw come across a couple times was like, what was your guys like? What made you want to mash up Souls-like and the Wild West? And did like one of those things come first on, I guess, in terms of the game that you wanted to make, or you're like, I want to make a Wild West game? Like, how did it come about?
Well, it was which did come first.
Yeah,
With it,
I'm not 100%. So a huge
I don't know if we ever
part of
made
this,
decisions.
yeah, I think a huge part of this is just to the core of what Max and I enjoy when we play video games. We were actually just having a discussion about this with some of our coworkers like yesterday, that we're just always people who gravitate towards a technical challenge rather than maybe just hours long cutscenes with some moderate gameplay in between. So I've been playing Cyberpunk and it's good, but I feel like I've experienced all of the challenge that it has to offer, and now it's just super OP builds for the next 50 hours or whatever.
And yet we also
And
both love Kingdom Hearts, so explain that, scientists.
okay,
Right?
but Kingdom Hearts on critical mode or whatever is like the hardest experience you'll have in your life.
Fair. Yeah.
So I think that's part of it, is just like we both just love that kind of game. And then when we were talking about it, yeah, we were at a bar with like some of our friends just dreaming up potential ideas. And I don't know necessarily when the two converged, or if we just were like,
I think
oh,
the way I
Eldritch
remember it was
Western.
I showed up with like a bunch of scribbled notes of like 9 or 10 games we could make, and one of them was like this kind of vague idea of like it'd be some kind of eldritch horror in the way Twin Peaks is, where you come to a mysterious town and something has gone wrong, and one of the other ideas just said vampire cowboys. We
Oh wow.
we just ended up being like, what if we smash those two together?
So there
And
could have
that's
been
what
a
it was.
version that was like a vampire cowboy version of
It was
Tomb Water.
just vampire
Could have been.
cowboys. Who know what that would have been?
Not explored any further than that. Just
Yeah.
That was the shortest and most meaningful bullet point on the
yeah.
list.
And I mean,
Most,
I think another part of
pungent.
this is Max had made Yarntown, his like Bloodborne demake, and this has a lot of that soul in it.
Mhm.
So I think just kind of at inception, I don't think we were ever like, should it be a Souls-like or something else?
I think it was just who we are as people that led to this.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, obviously it worked out well. Everyone loves it. So I guess next question here is, was there ever a singular moment during the development of the game where you both were like, this idea that we had is actually going to work? Like,
Mhm.
I think
There was-
I think, what would you say?
there had to have been a point, because we meant to do a like 3 month long project just as practice, just to show Jake what making games was like. So something happened where we were like, let's keep doing this. It had to have been something. It must have been there.
I think for me, when I was like, and this makes sense, when you really realized that this was something that people had fun playing. I mean, there were moments where we were like play testing it and you'd pull off a cool last minute combo or like save yourself, at a boss at the last second. But when we took the demo to GDEX for the first time and got it in the hands of some people, and there were like some kids that we just could not pry away from our game, I was like, okay, I think even in its like rough early form where you only had 4 cardinal directions.
Yeah,
There's
it
like
was,
there's like an X factor here that people really enjoy.
That's awesome. So this was kind of, Jake, this is kind of your like first experience then into making games then.
Oh yes, this was like Matt said, supposed to be the smallest thing that for Max, me, and one of our other coworkers to kind of cut our teeth on. That other coworker dropped out so fast, and then somehow I
and he was
barely
right.
clung on. But
That's
yes,
a-
before this, I've had no game development experience. We're both casual musicians, and then he'd done some games, on the side. But beyond that, all new to me, and I
Did
learned a lot.
great.
That's a pretty awesome debut there.
Yeah, it's really exciting to get to tag along to somebody who just has this much experience and watch him especially go from his prior big release, Ocean's Heart, to this, and just see the like major jump in quality from somebody who's like really worked on this, and then I get to like I get to enjoy the fruits of his labor.
I think that's just like the normal way that you learn to
Yeah.
do something usually, though. It's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of mythologizing in the America of the self-made man, and like I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and taught myself everything I know. And it's like, well, why didn't you just ask someone that already knew how to do it? Like, it's like this is a good way to learn to do something. Is like you work with someone
And
already. Yeah.
We had that conversation so many times where I'm like, do you really want me to just like sit here and take hours and hours to do a thing that you could probably do in 20 minutes? And he's like, no. Like, you can just ask me about it and we can implement it and work through it together. Yeah, it was a really fun experience. It helps that Max and I are really tight and very agreeable on a lot of things, which made it just a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
For
I don't
sure.
think there's anything we like really disagreed on when it came to like, is there anything in the whole game that we were like, oh, Max really wanted this, Jake really wanted that, and Max won because he said, fine, you code it.
There are probably internal things that I thought, but at the end of the day, I was like, Max is the expert and is doing so much, so I'm gonna do.
Well, I don't.
There
I
were
can't
probably
even,
a couple of times where I designed something and then you looked at it and you were like, "Oh, that means we can do this and this and this and this."
Yeah,
like,
there was.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was definitely a learning experience for me in terms of just like getting better at working with other people because I've been doing this myself for so long. Like learning when to sort of pull the brakes, pull the minecart back, slow down a little bit, and not just be like, Jake made one feature and I get so excited and tell him about the 6 other things it should do because that would be cool, and overwhelm him. He's like, yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, that you guys are kind of asking another question for yourselves, which was if there was ever a design decision that you two seriously disagreed on.
Yeah, I'd be interested to mull over that.
I am not going to be able to remember one if there was one.
Yeah, I think there were some things early on. I think one of the big, which we ended up implementing both, was with the original way the game worked with the cardinal directions. There was a kind of a conversation about, should shooting be 360 or should it be kind of Binding of Isaac-esque but with like a strafing mechanic so you can like lock in? And that's still in the game, right? Maybe it's not. Maybe
I don't
we
remember
moved
if we
away
locked
from
it.
that.
I think because there are many different versions of the game throughout the ages, and initially I think when you started, when you pressed the aim button, it locked you in place, and you could pivot in the 8 directions that you could move in, and then later when we got more advanced, you got locked in place and you could pivot 360, and then we added in, rather than locking in place, you would just lock your facing and then twin stick shooter with it.
But that's the
some
only
of
thing
it- yeah.
I could remember us going back and forth on, where I was like, I really like this strafing mechanic. I think it feels good. It complements the system well. And you were like, I want people to be able to aim wherever and do whatever. So then in typical Max fashion, he just implemented both and put it on the menu so that you could do
Yeah.
whatever you wanted.
The
Um,
accessibility options.
yeah. But honestly, I feel like for a lot of it, like we just agreed on a lot of things. When he went and like implemented the stamina system, I was like, oh man, what a great necessary addition.
It
Or
really did solve a lot of problems. Now I
the
understand
way
so much better why they do it.
yeah, the way consumables work, the ability to sprint across the map, just like all of these things are just like, yes. So I'd say we got along for the most part.
And
Awesome.
most of our decisions were just designed together from the start, not from the fart, from the start, where we'd be going out after work, being like, what should this game be? What kinds of weirdos should we put in this area? What kinds of weapons should we put in, and all that? Like, it was all just like over a drink after work from inception, so it didn't have much time to lead to disagreements anyway.
Speaking of weirdos that you had to put in certain areas, what was some of your inspiration behind like some of the characters? Were there specific inspirations behind like certain characters, or was it just kind of I know you guys got together at the bar to talk about it, so it was like after a certain amount of drinks you just came up with these characters.
I mean, we're pretty unhinged. So the more
At a
time we
baseline.
spend with each, yeah, at a baseline. So the more time we spend with each other, the more we just feed off of each other. I don't know if anything like was behind any of the crazy characters we dreamed up, or if we were just like, how weird can we get? and how weird can we get without scaring people off?
Yeah, like I think how do we come up with the idea of the shopkeeper that's just arms and goes like or
One of my personal favorites, by the way.
I think
yeah, right.
was it just you made a weird noise and I was like, let's record that, and then
yeah, I think
yeah.
that one came specifically from us sitting in a movie theater by ourselves where it was dead silent, just making noises into our phone. And you were like, I really like this one. That could be the noise of like a shopkeeper.
Yeah.
Somehow we're just like, what if he has really long arms? And,
yeah, I know.
Or,
I don't know if I ever told you.
a dentist with too many teeth,
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know if I ever told you, but there's like the one dude Epimenides, who's like up by the lake and like has the research on like the silver magic and stuff. That was just because Bejas, one of our other coworkers, was just like, put a Greek guy in the game for me.
So have you taken this to your coworker now and been like, this is your character?
I don't know if I ever told him.
Well,
What
if he sees this, now he'll know.
Yeah.
Speaking of the weird noises of characters, in my last play session, I came across the Electric Bandit and noticed how many weird noises he makes when you're fighting him. And so I was really curious about the sound effects of the various enemies and NPCs. Like, did you guys record all of those yourself, or like did you ever have other friends come in and be like, hey, just record weird noises?
I think I know the festering ox, the like big. That one is Jake's daughter, pitched way down.
That makes it so much better.
Yeah, there's a couple I know, because Max came over and we were just hanging out making weird noises. I mean, we always make weird noises, but making weird noises on
with a microphone,
camera, recording with a microphone. My wife and my child came out, so we had what did we have Emma do? She basically like
Oh yeah,
red
there's
warranties. Yeah,
there's in the like foggy woods you can catch, and I think when the madness figments pop up, you can catch like weird whispers, kind of like whoosh, 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 through on the wind. Yeah, and that's Emma reading the Surgeon General's warning on a White Claw can.
Nice.
Reversed.
That is some awesome lore behind the scenes there. How did you guys really divide responsibilities as a two-person studio? And did your roles kind of stay the same throughout, or did they kind of shift a little bit during development?
I will always say that, like, I call myself the glorified intern, right? Because again, coming into this, I just had no understanding of what was necessary. So on the coding side of things, and just like what makes a game and what do you need to think about, and oh hey, you need to go relearn some basic trigonometry, like things like that. I would say I like dove in as needed and just kind of put my hands in the system in a bunch of random little places. I did some boss design, I did some enemy design, I did some item implementations, I did some I can't remember exactly everything, but just like a little bit of everything, a little bit of menu development, which was like my least favorite white whale
unfortunately.
So that was always kind of me, not taking a back seat, but a learner's seat. I was really fortunate to get to be involved so much in the music. I feel like that's one that we split pretty evenly because we both love making music. We're both multi-instrumentalists, and it's been fun kind of hearing the tracks that he made and then the tracks that I made and the vibe that they kind of create together,
and the future
and the times that we got to make them together. Yeah. Maybe the best ones. And then I did no art and he did every art, and I'm not even gonna pretend to.
That was just like, because like Jake didn't have a lot of experience coming in, but I wanted him to get his little fingies in every part of everything, and like he was involved in every. But I drew a line and I said, like, dude, you don't have time to learn how to do pixel art. There's just we have to call it somewhere.
Yeah. Maybe in the future, but I'm okay leaving that off of the resume for now.
Yeah. But other than that, both of us touched everything. Like, I know a lot of times it's like you've got the code side and the art side of the teams, but I don't know. We're both working on everything together, which is, I don't know, a lot more fun maybe.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Speaking of the music, I love the music in the game. And I mean that's one of the things that almost everybody like praises is the music. I'm really curious of what the process of that was like when you were building the game. Like, was it you just made a bunch of soundtracks and then you're like, oh, like these will fit here, or you made the game first and then you're like, oh, we need to make a soundtrack for this area? Just really curious on the process there.
Most of it was more of the latter, where we have the layout of the game decided roughly pretty early in advance, right? We're like, okay, we're going to have a graveyard, we're going to have a forest, we're going to have a lake, etc., etc., and we have an idea like what kind of vibe those areas are going to have. So then a lot of it was we went down and sat down at the keyboard and said, all right, I'm going to write something that would be good music for the lake, and set out with that intent. We also ended up with a ton of we must have not always done that though, because some of the tracks were just labeled like scroobly woobly _2, and like
that did not make into the soundtrack.
Yeah.
No, it did.
I mean,
no, it did. I want to say this is Scrublands.
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
Yeah.
From what I recall, and I assume this is true for a lot of game development, when it's just in its ideation phase and you're getting the framework set up, you don't have any constraints. We were just excited. We're like, oh, Western music, how cool. And so I think one of the first pieces of music that was made was just the Tombwater station kind of melancholy theme when you're at the bonfire in the main area. That was super early on. That was me just going over to Max's place and us trying to figure out what is that Western vibe. I've never really made music like this before.
And like not just
and
necessarily like the heroic Western of like Ennio Morricone, but like also that more subdued and pensive and upset Western.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that track. And I think, we did that. We had a few things, then we kind of both went off and just experimented with different ideas. I sent several rough drafts to Max, just trying to think about things. That was maybe something that we didn't butt heads on, but submitting ideas musically and then being like, I don't think that fits with the vibe of what we're going for here. Like that was a real thing that we kind of went back and forth on with a few things. But then, kind of as we were getting towards the end, and especially as my child came in, I took a lot more of a backseat to the coding side of things, but still had some room to work on the musical side. So just being handed like, the mines or the dig site, taking that and just getting to work on that in my own time and think through things and be a freaking perfectionist about it and send Max a thing and be like, I freaking hate this one. Here's this one.
Like
I promise.
The best shit I've ever heard.
And then finally coming out the other end with something that's good. But I mean, it's all a learning process because I've written some like tracks and some, silly, goofy electronic music, but making video game music is a totally different beast. Atmospheric music, things that need to loop, things that need to be interesting but not too attention grabbing because you need to hear everything else going on. Like that's definitely a new challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think it's one of those, or other time besides other video game soundtracks. For a while, I did a bunch of scoring for like a narrative podcast, and it's similar where it's like it's so different than a lot of if you're writing music just to be listened to. It's got a very different goal in it, which is like a fun. What's that? What do they say? Like, what breeds something? Limitations breed creativity. Something. But like, it's one of those things where it's like this is a weird, non-usual limitation, and it's a lot of fun to balance. You get a different thing out of that.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, of like game music being similar to like those narrative type of podcasts. But now that you mention that, it's like they are kind of similar in that way. From what I had heard before, also you did kind of fight Jake to get the circus music in from if I heard correctly.
Well, that was the opposite. That was I said, Jake, we have a single battle in the circus. There's one time when you battle at a circus, we don't need music just for that. And he said, no, fuck you. I'm getting a calliope. I'm writing a circus clown music. I believe that was verbatim.
Sometimes you just like, and this is when you feel passionate about something, you gotta just pursue it or try it. And I don't remember exactly how that happened.
Clowns.
Well, part of me was just like, that circus music, what is that? Is the calliope?
It's a calliope. Yeah.
Does a VST of that exists out there somewhere that sounds good, and ideally free? One thing I'm proud of is how little money has been spent on music or other things. And then just making like, can I write something? I've never written something like that. Can I do it? Watch some YouTube videos about people making circus music, tried it myself, and then now it makes a fun little highlight that wouldn't be there otherwise,
Yeah, it's great.
I think it turned out really good. It stands out on the soundtrack too, so I'm
sure it
does. I just like falling asleep to like the peaceful Central Tombwater music or like the very atmospheric lake music, and they're just
staying in the vein of music. Were there any specific artists or soundtracks that influenced you when you were creating the music for Tombwater?
Yeah, we like made a whole Spotify playlist of influences that we're listening to for it was whoever, I don't remember his name offhand, but the guy that wrote the Last of Us soundtrack was like my number one most listened to artist of that year when we just started working on the music, just because I was listening to that for a lot of inspiration. Um, I mean, obviously you've got Ennio Morricone, you got the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly themes, you got the music from that. Um, Hollow Knight and Elden Ring were big inspirations as well.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think, and looking back on it, it's like I learned so much. I wish I could go back and do it again for the first time, knowing everything that I knew now. But yeah, I think one of the first ones when I was like, okay, what makes video game music? I went and I listened to Elden Ring's soundtrack, and their soundtrack is so weird. It's like so much of it is just like ambient wind noise, and then with like rising, escalating horns, and then as you get into combat, a whole drum system comes in. But then when I really started working on the soundtrack in earnest, Silk Song had come out, and so I was listening to Silk Song soundtrack like crazy, and it's a totally different philosophy. It's like way less just ambient, way more intentional, melodic. And so kind of just because I think some of the tracks that I wrote had that like it's basically which one was I trying to mirror the most? Was it Elden Ring or was it Hollow Knight? And then Max is over there writing definitely the most westerny of the Western music, and then I'm like writing orchestral music and then weird plucky stringy thingies. I don't know.
Oh, you're so good at those like ostinatos over different like very dense harmonic chords that I really like them.
Things like flowing in and out of each other.
Yeah, we come from like very different, like I think experience, like the kinds of like the driving factors when each of us write music, I think is pretty different. I think you're more harmonically driven and I'm more rhythmically driven, which is very like when you listen to different tracks, that's the big clue that I would take like to split who took which one.
Yeah, I would agree.
In terms of the game in its entirety, is there one thing that you're most proud of that players will probably never notice or that you haven't seen them talk enough about?
The noises that the shopkeeper makes.
Yes. I think in one of our my first time meeting you, Max, that was the first thing that I brought up. I was like, I need to know, like, I don't care about any of the other characters. I want to know what this guy's deal is.
Whatever that guy's deal is.
Jake, anything that you're most proud of or that most players will probably never notice in the game?
That most players will probably never notice. That's an interesting one. I mean, I think the thing that just keeps me excited about the game is it just like it feels good. It feels weighty. I like the sound design when you shoot the gun and then you're like something's frantically charging after you. You go to unload your clip and you just hear that click, 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 and you're out, and you're just like, oh no! There's just like something so satisfying about that like, I don't know if anybody would like call that out necessarily because I think people just expect things to feel good when they play them, but
it's like
I think
like the things that they would notice it if it wasn't there. And so they feel it, but they don't like consciously in it. Like some of those things we worked a lot on those and making them feel very polished and very satisfying. And they're very hard to name because they would only be felt in their absence. But
so just making it feel like a game.
The one thing I don't know, how did people figure out? I thought it would take so long. People seemed like they really quickly figured out that trick to get down to the lower ward early. To like use like using the blood incense by that weird monster thing, like I was like, people were just recommending, oh, you do this. And I was like, who told you? How'd you figure that out?
Yeah, I've always wondered, like, when people figure out stuff for like speed runs and glitching through walls, I'm like, who learns this stuff, you know?
How did you
Maybe
think
it's
of
something
that?
similar.
Which is so, yeah, because we put it in the game and then someone does it. And we're like, how'd you think of that? How dare
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, can you think of things
I
that are
know.
still out there?
I can't think of things what at all that are still out there. I don't think I don't that like that was the biggest one that I thought would be forever for people to catch on to. Oh, I wonder if anybody knows that barbed wire conducts electricity.
Well, now they do.
Yeah,
That's I don't even
more
know.
of a holdover.
Yeah, I don't even think I'm proud of that. That's stupid. That's pointless. Why should it shouldn't do that? There's one electric weapon in the game.
So, but there is a barbed wire weapon in the game. What do those work? Is that
No, so it's
work
like
as
if
a
you
combo?
use what's that the coil baton? If you use
Mhm.
that, it can do a little bust of electricity. And that, if you hit like one end of a barbed wire fence, can conduct all the way through. And if there's a guy on the other end, you can shock him. It's not
I don't think
used,
anybody's.
I'm trying that after this.
it won't do you any good. I don't know why it's in
I don't think anybody's ever said a bust of electricity in their life.
it just busts out of there.
What about player feedback would you say surprised you the most?
I thought more people would be wrong and dislike the game, but they were right. It's a good game.
Agreed.
I mean, the obvious one though is they don't like the map for some reason. Like that was we've talked about this internally a bunch of times, but like yeah, the most consistent feedback is people saying the map isn't useful, or the map only tells you where things are relative to each other, which like, guys, that's what a map does. But there's something that people seem to want from the map that I'm surprised they want or think that should be there. Because something that I really enjoy in both real life and when I get the chance to in a video game is like orientating, navigating. Like you're looking at you're saying, I have an idea where I want to go, or I'm looking at a map that doesn't tell me how to get somewhere, but I see something interesting on there. I like the challenge of being like, well, how do I get my body from A to B? And I think a lot of games, and they're rightly so, they're designed around it. They have a map system that is the point of the map system is more like a GPS to say, all right, here, or or like roads, like a road map rather than I guess like a topological map where it says, okay, here's how you get from A to B. Look at this map and you can tell exactly what you need to do. Whereas like something I enjoy is the challenge of that, of having to notice a landmark, figure out where things are in relation to each other, and piece that together. So super surprised how not universal, but like how broad that dislike of the map was.
Jake, anything on your end?
I mean, I was not expecting 94% positive. So. You can always hope, but you don't want to get your hopes up too high. But just hearing how much fun people are having, hearing the comparisons that we were shooting for in a lot of ways, seeing people satisfied with the systems that we felt pretty passionate about. I mean, yeah, again, it's a pretty generic answer, but yeah, just the positivity, it was really surprising.
I would say that's pretty good, Jake, for your first try at a game. Game development.
I will definitely take it.
Were there any features or ideas that you had to cut or change that you still think about? And it sounds like there are quite a few.
Yeah, remember when like 2 days before release, I built a parry system and was like, we can't do it.
Yeah, I said you can't.
I knew I could, but Sekiro is such a good game.
Yeah, Sekiro is the game.
So yeah, I mean, That was one of the potentials. Was there ever going to be any? I don't know. There was a bunch of like charms and other. I had one where you were going to be able to sort of go into a. It was inspired by Anti-Form in Kingdom Hearts, where you become that weird little shadow guy. I was like, what if you could like there could be items that could make you weird little guys, and you would have like your buttons would do different things. You'd be like a visceral mode, and like I had that all planned out.
That would have been very interesting. That would have
really
changed the dynamic.
I felt that we were just missing way more cutscenes of much longer duration, preferably with quick time events. Like maybe the next game will just be all quick time events, and then we'll be good to go.
Basically, Guitar Hero, but with the movie in the background.
Yeah.
For sure, it would have made more cutscenes would have made my life easier when I was working on the trailers. For sure.
Dude, cutscenes surprisingly take so long to make. Of all the work, like I don't know, just the way that maybe it's. I mean, probably some of it is the way we do them and the systems that we have built for ourselves. But it's just like very fiddly to like first this guy moves over here, then this happens, then like do an animation. It's just like restarting them all the time to test them.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine. Just had to like throw that in there. One last question before we get into the community questions. What is transoculargy?
Well, so you see, as the gorillas put it, you see with your eyes. Wait, no, he said you see with your mind. Well, it's both.
Yeah.
When you
see with your eyes, you perceive with your mind.
Right. And I mean, what more needs said than that?
Perfect answer.
I think you explain it really well. Just like the horrors and wonders that people have experienced and seen with their eyes, and has so thoroughly impacted them
that it perceived.
You got to get that out somehow. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what you're doing to those eyeballs, Max. Maybe you've gone deeper and thought about what actually happens. You're putting their retinas in your eyeballs.
Yeah, something, yeah, but some process there, without going into gory, gruesome details, something like that in the world of Tombwater allows you to get those memories and those experiences from their eyes into yours, into your mind, and allows you to be imparted by the events that shaped them, so that you can be changed the same way it changed them.
I like that. I now imagine the gunslinger as just a duster of eyeballs that's just all stacked on top of each other. But
weren't we talking about doing that? As you played and got eyes, you would just have more and more eyeballs on your character's head.
We did, which is funny because there's no eyeballs drawn on the character at all. That was the problem with the dentist, is we wanted to like draw him like with so many teeth, and then you look at like it's a 16 by 32 sprite. Like he's never had a tooth in his life. Or just like trying to draw a pile of teeth at this resolution. You can't tell it's not snow. Like, man, that dentist, the dentist really gave us a lot of trouble because of just the resolution.
Because
there would be
what do you do with him?
Yeah. There would be so much more going on with that dentist if we were just at a higher resolution and you could draw a tooth, but they're too small. So,
yeah, I think
small.
For my playthroughs, I came across the dentist once. I don't think that you ever see him again after that, right? Or
no,
not yet.
Oh, spoilers.
Tombwater,
Tombwater, teeth water. Okay, so on to some of the community questions, and our community from the Discord in there decided to ask a lot of questions. Some of them I've left out because they were already on the docket. But one of them from, and I'm probably going to mispronounce some of these, Kurgswaffle asked, were there any other candidates for the name of the game and the city before settling on Tombwater? And why did you choose Tombwater?
I think we were doing cowboy town name generator.com. And I don't know that we got Tombwater, but we got like tomb is a common suffix and water was a common, like Goldwater and Tombhead or whatever, and I don't know if we got that one.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it gave you like a slew of things, or
Yeah.
in my head canon, it was literally just Tombwater. So we just needed to name the project files for the code.
Yes, this was the first thing we did. Is me, you, and Patrick got together on a video call. So it's probably in the Discord somewhere, and we're in a Discord call, and I said, "Okay, here's how you make a game. Right click, new project. What do we call it?" And we stopped everything until we came up with the name Tombwater.
Which was just the code name for the game.
Yeah.
But then we were like, kind of got a nice ring to it. Them tombs got something going on.
It worked out. That's awesome.
Yeah, did we ever talk about a different name for the game?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. I think we might have had other names for the town. Like, Tombwater wasn't the first one that we went, but we were going through for probably like 35 minutes, wasting time naming the project file. But anybody else who who writes code knows that, like, the naming your classes and your functions is the most important part of development.
Another question from user Flow Like Lightning asked, what was your approach to balancing and how did you know if something was too hard or too easy?
I still don't know if I know. I think where it's sort of, I think for a long time, what we sort of settled on was we'd have a crazy idea. What if we made an item that did X, Y, Z? What if we made it so you could throw a wagon wheel and it's a boomerang? What if we made some sort of whatever, there's a lot of things in the game. We all know this. No one needs to question me. But we'd make an item, give it a rough balance pass, and then if I thought it was pretty easy to beat enemies with it, then I'm like, okay, if enemies seem too easy if an enemy seems too easy, it's probably good. Because my thought is, like, I play the game the most, it's easy for me is probably good for someone who doesn't play the game as much. But we're seeing a lot of holes in that now that we're in QA and balancing. There's a lot of stuff I just had not considered someone would do.
I think we also had a moment of awakening again when we took it to the video game convention for the first time and just saw other people playing the game. And we were like, things that are just so obvious to you or so easy to you is not true for the general populace. So I think we ended up like adjusting the damage slider down by like 50% or something, and that seemed to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, I think the default damage taken for the demo at the convention was 50%, and we just didn't tell anybody that was where it was.
Yeah. The accessibility options are pretty awesome feature.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max was pretty sold on that from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from the jump.
This is something we disagreed on. Yeah, not heavily. Like, I didn't fight it at all, but I want a video game to tell me what it's supposed to be, and then I will overcome your challenge. But I think I'm in the minority.
Yeah.
I don't want Dark Souls to have any, or at the very least, if you're gonna have settings, tell me which one is the intended one. Don't just have easy, normal, hard. Is normal like it's normal what it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Because I feel like hard, very hard is usually where I like to be,
Yeah, and I think there is something to like having a slider where 100%, 0%, like 100% is the default, and you kind of know that implicitly, and that is what we balance around.
So last one here, but it's from our community member Dead Crab. What inspired the bullet and madness system?
Oh yeah, the bullet system being where like you get your ammo back by hitting people with the melee. Yeah, I mean it's combination of things there, like Hollow Knight does kind of that. Like you get your soul back from using your melee attacks, and you use your soul for healing and spells in Hollow Knight, but it's kind of a similar thing. Or is there any other? I don't know. I feel like there's a number of games.
There's one big one that you're missing. Hyperlight
Drifter that does exactly what we did, and that was a big inspiration. Yeah. Thank you, Jake. I knew you'd be there for me. Yeah, it's just what Hyperlight Drifter does, isn't it?
Yeah,
but like, it works.
But
really
we love
well.
it.
Yeah, because it really forces you to use multiple systems. Like where there's no reason to conserve your bullets, because if you conserve your bullets, then you're wasting potential bullets that you would be getting from your melee attacks. And it makes you go in and out of range and zip all around, and it's very satisfying.
So now that Tombwater has been launched, what is next on the agenda for Moth Atlas after Tombwater?
Oh, we've got so many ideas. We were just talking the other day about games about pickling things, games about where you're a crawdad and you have to parry people trying to catch you out of the creek. I'm looking a lot at been working a lot on this sort of game about going to a city that's been like given over to an AI to govern, and like how messed up that would be, and sort of a Metroidvania in that setting. We've talked about maybe something along the lines of sequels, maybe some kind of spin-off with like a roguelike elements. What else have we talked about?
Yeah, I mean, I know you were talking about a more pure Metroidvania. I think for me, I really want to do what Tombwater was supposed to be. And
yeah.
One, just figure out how far I want to pursue games as a lifestyle in general. Tombwater was awesome and is awesome, and it's really fun to be a part of.
And was 4 years.
It's a really demanding thing, you know. I'm glad for the part that I got to play. There's a part of me that's like, man, I wish I did more, but also where was I going to find more time to do more? And just trying to figure out what that looks like. But I would love to still maybe do just a little project where I'm making all the decisions, where I'm doing things poorly and breaking stuff and figuring it out. And then being at Max's beck and call for whatever project comes up next. Because one of the things that's great and has been great is like, this has been awesome for our friendship, having a thing that we're collaborating on together that we get to work on. And I would be sad to lose that part of the work. So
it's
we'll
nice
see what that looks like going forward.
A little like structure and urgency to encourage us to hang out more often.
Yeah.
So no Tombwater 2 with dual pistols.
It would be Tombwater.
Tombwater. Yeah.
Tombwater, Tomb Furious.
Tombwater.
Electric Boogaloo.
We're not saying no, just does it.
No, certainly not. Yeah, no, I've got
I think,
like 3 different projects that could be Tombwater universe follow-ups.
And I mean, you guys don't understand how many bosses and ideas we left on the table. We had a whole Lost Woods lady who's feeding you soup, and the soup makes you get addicted to the soup, so you can't leave the soup.
Oh, yeah, the soup
crazy.
Is still out there in our hearts.
A soup-based DLC, maybe.
Yeah, or that kid that wanted to be the king of the outlaws because he didn't understand what an outlaw was, and you would go on monster hunts with him. Theseus Watts, who was in the demo as a merchant and then never seen from again.
I was curious what happened to what happened to that guy.
Well, he's an insurance adjuster. I don't know. Maybe he'll be in an update.
Thank you so much for hanging out for our developer Q&A with Max and Jake, and thank you to the community members in our Tombwater Discord for asking some great questions. If you want to get the latest details on Tombwater or just want to chat with some fellow gunslingers, you can find the link to our Discord in the description below. Also, Tombwater is available now on Steam, so go on and take the last train into Tombwater and lay bare the darkness that lies beneath.